Hi, you guys. Lady ReShell here, author of Take Charge of Cancer, founder of Warriors Talk, where we empower individuals to take action that lead to a healthier lifestyle. This is day 6, you guys. I'm so excited of 31 facts in 31 days in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So this is a special edition of Warriors Talk. Tonight, we're talking about how important is family history. Now, we all have things in our families to where we have different habits, diseases, conditions, different environments where we have an increased risk of breast cancer. So we're going to talk about tonight what are some of the things that you can do if you have, or to find out if you have, a hereditary link as it relates to breast cancer. So let's go. So the first thing is, what information do you need when you're trying to find out if you have a link or not when it comes to breast cancer, right? So if you don't know anybody that was in your family that had it, and you're having friends around you that's being diagnosed, and you're just curious, you want to know. So what you need to do is you need to start gathering information from your parents, both mother and father, from your grandparents, from uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews, anybody that you can talk to that will give you information as it relates to the health in your family and what individuals was dealing with, right? So though that's the type of information you need. You need to find out who was diagnosed with cancer, or just anything in your family, but we're talking about cancer tonight. Who was diagnosed with cancer, what type of cancer it was, are they still living, and if they died, did they die from cancer? It's really important. So that's the type of information you need, because if you go to the doctor and you're asking for genetic testing, they are going to ask you those questions, right? So that's the information that you need when you are gathering information, so that you can see if you even need to get genetic testing, because everybody doesn't need to get it, right? And this is the purpose of having a conversation, to see if you need to get it or not. So number 2, as it relates to family history and breast cancer, how do you collect this information? So how do you collect the health information in your family to determine, first of all, if you need to get this testing and if you have a hereditary link as it relates to breast cancer? So keep in mind that 5 to 10% of individuals who do or who are diagnosed with breast cancer, they have a hereditary link. 85% of women who are diagnosed with breast cancer do not have a hereditary link. So I just want you to know that, right? So you may say, well, breast cancer don't run in my family. Okay. But 85% of the women that's being diagnosed, they don't have a family history. So take time at a family gathering, and we know the holidays are coming up. So you could do something simple as putting together some type of sign-in sheet, or maybe you can have like a little informational sheet for people to fill out. Maybe they want to do it individually. They may not want to do a sign-in sheet to where everybody can see their information. So maybe you can have like a box that you put like near the door, and everybody can fill out their own, and then they can fold it and put it in the box, and then you can just gather the information later. But on it, you're asking them what type of medical or conditions you're dealing with, so that you'll know. Ask them what type of treatment they had, if they were diagnosed with cancer, what stage, what grade. So these are questions that you want to put on there, and not that we're being nosy, but just kind of explain on the form that the reason why you're doing it is for the health of the family, so that you can be empowered with information, and then you know how to move forward. You can look on obituaries. It won't probably tell you like why they died, but then you can start asking questions as to okay, so and so died, oh, what happened to so and so. Ask questions, because a lot of times we don't like to talk about things. We kind of like sweep it under the rug, but somebody has to start talking about it, so that we can start, protecting ourselves and knowing the risk. It's time to talk about it. So the third thing you need to know about family history as it relates to breast cancer is, do you have an increased risk of getting cancer, right? Do you have that? But so I'll tell you this: if you have a first degree relative, which is a parent, a sibling, a child, then you that was diagnosed before the age of 50, then according to statistics, they're saying you are at an increased risk, right, for ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, breast cancer, and colorectal cancer. So if you have a first degree relative that was diagnosed, then they saying that you, according to statistics, that you are at risk for those different types of cancer, right? If you do the genetic testing and it becomes positive, even if you don't do it and you have that link, you have people that have had that, then you need to start thinking about, what it is that you need to do, because now you know that there's some type of risk for you because of someone in your family that has it. So what you need to do is talk to your doctor about getting genetic testing. So what is genetic counseling and what is genetic testing? So when you go in, they're just not going to test you right away as soon as you get there, right? They're going to have you talk to a genetic counselor, which is a specialist that goes over the history of your family. And believe me, they do draw a tree, right? They will draw the family tree, put both parents on the opposite side, and they will name the people, and then they will have you to say if anybody in the family had cancer, right? And they'll talk to you about some of your habits or conditions or your environment that you live in. Because sometimes when you get cancer, the doctors say they don't know where you got it from, and they use the word environmental. And it could be if you have about 3 or 4 people in your family that was diagnosed with cancer, and you all kind of live in the same type of environment, same type of lifestyle or whatever, then they will call it like it's like a cluster. So they will consider that environmental. It may not be hereditary, but they'll link it as environmental because they don't know. Right. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to talk to a genetic counselor that's going to ask you a series of questions to see if you're even eligible to take the test, because you may not be eligible because there may not be that type of risk. Right. So then after that, the only thing they're going to do is they're going to collect some saliva and they're going to collect some blood, right? That's it. Just to see, they're going to test this to see if you have changes or a mutation within, your cells, to see if your DNA, should I say, to see if you have an increased risk of cancer. So they're not cutting on you. They're not doing a biopsy or anything like that. They're doing just like you go to the doctor to get your blood drawn. They're doing that, or they can do it with the saliva. So it just depends on, I guess, where you go to get it done. When I got it done, they actually took blood. So I had the counseling session first, and it was a detailed counseling session. It wasn't rushed. It was really detailed, to where they were asking me a series of questions. And then I had to consent to the blood test. And then they told me that it would take, I think it took about 4 weeks for that test to come back. And my test did come back negative to say that I did not have a hereditary link. It wasn't hereditary. So my doctor just chalked it up to it being environmental. So what's going to happen is once you get the blood drawn or the swab, then it's testing you for the BRCA1 or the BRCA2, and the BR stands for breast, the CA stands for cancer. I hope I said that right. So they call it BRCA1, BRCA2. So they're doing this test to determine, again, if you have these changes, these mutations in your DNA. So if you have mutation, if it comes back positive and they say, hey, you have a significant increased risk that you may get breast cancer, right? So if they do that, it's going to show it'll show them like if it's BRCA1, or it's going to show them if it's BRCA2. So I'll just show you really quick the difference. Give me 1 second. So it says, where are your BRCA genes, and it shows you that the BRCA1 and 2 are in totally 2 different spots, right? One is chromosome 17 and the other one is chromosome 13, and they even look totally different, right? Because they do bring out different results as well. So when we look at let's look at what I always say a BRCA1 and BRCA2, what's the difference in it? So if it comes back positive for BRCA1 mutation, then it's saying for that woman, she has a 50 to 65% chance of developing breast cancer. And for the male, a 1 to 2%. And then pancreas cancer, 1 to 3%, ovarian cancer for the woman, 40 to 65%, and prostate cancer for the man, 9%. So if the test comes back positive for BRCA1, then these are your chances. They're telling you what your increased risks are. And then if it comes positive for BRCA2, your breast cancer chances, women is 40 to 55%. For a male, it goes up to 9%. Pancreas cancer, 2 to 7%. Ovarian cancer for women, as you can see with the BRCA2, it's low, it's 15 to 25%, but it's still a percent. So anytime it's a percent, then you need to think about it. And prostate cancer is 15%. So I wanted to give you a visual so that you can see what it looks like, what that difference look like when it comes to the BRCA1 and the BRCA2. So if you take the gene test and it comes back positive for either one of those, what does that mean? Does it mean you're going to get cancer? It does not mean that you're going to get cancer. It does not. It's just telling you that you have an increased risk, and it's giving you a chance to have options on some things that you can do because you have an increased risk, right? So most of us know Angelina Jolie, right? Angelina Jolie. She's an actress. She was married to Brad Pitt, and she actually tests positive for the BRCA gene. Her mom died at the age of 56 from breast cancer. So she ended up getting the test done. It came positive, and she had, for her, it was an 87% chance that she would get breast cancer and a 56% chance that she would get ovarian cancer. So she ended up having a double mastectomy, had her breast removed, and had reconstructive surgery, and she ended up getting a hysterectomy. So those are some of the things that you can do if they tell you that you test positive. And those are the people that we call previvors, because it was pre-cancer. They didn't get cancer, but they were at an increased risk. So they took action to say, you know what, because my risk is so high, I'm going to take steps, because I'm not going to sit here like a ticking time bomb. So what should you do if you have that gene mutation? It's totally up to you. You can have increased monitoring with your doctor. If you don't want to do that, they have medication. And the surgery, again, would be the double mastectomy or the hysterectomy. So, and it totally depends on you. And when you talk to your doctor on what route you want to take if you come positive for the BRCA gene. So the main thing that I would like for you to do is to educate your family on your results. Don't just keep the results to yourself. Oh yeah, I got positive results, and you just keep it to yourself. No, your family needs to know so that they can go get tested as well. They need to know that they may have a significant increased risk of getting breast cancer and those other cancers that I mentioned, right? So even educate them if it comes negative. No, I had to tell my daughters, because I know that was something, they probably will worry about when they found out I had breast cancer. Oh God, am I going to get breast cancer because my mom had it? Well, my test said it was negative, right? So they are at a general increased risk, a general risk for getting breast cancer, and not an increased risk because I had it, right? So they're just like the normal population that's out there, that may get breast cancer or may not. So I wanted them to know that. I wanted them to have that peace of mind that, they don't have to be thinking because I had it that they're going to get it. So you can take action with talking to your doctor to see if you need to get the test done, and then just follow through. I'm just asking you to follow through, even if you don't want to, even if it seems scary. And I was scared at first, because when they said that, oh, you have to have this test done to see if there's a hereditary link, I was nervous. I wasn't nervous of the outcome. I was nervous to get the test done, because we make things seem so difficult and so scary, but it was truly like a counseling session where I sat down and talked to the genetic counselor. And then again, I signed the consent, and I did a blood test and waited the 4 weeks and got the information back that it was negative. There was no hereditary link. And remember, 5 to 10% of women who get diagnosed with breast cancer do have that hereditary link, but 85% that get diagnosed, they do not have a hereditary link. So decide for yourself and for your family how important it is to know the different diseases and conditions that you have in your family. Don't just, walk around blind, people dropping like flies, getting sick, and nobody want to ask questions to see what's going on. Like, you start the conversation, and see what's going on in the family so that all of you guys can take action on what it is that, you want to do to see if you have an increased risk for breast cancer. So I appreciate you guys for joining me for my 31 days 31 facts in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I just want to mention that this is actually, Warriors Talk started back in 2014, right? We've been on air since 2015. And then we started our gala in 2016. So we're pushing. We are pushing to continue to empower you and to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle. That's all I'm saying is, you have to, this is your one body that you get. Once this body is broke down, it's so hard to build it back up. Not that you can't, but it's hard to build it back up. So I'm just saying, take those actions right now that leads to a healthier lifestyle. And it don't have to be, a big old action. It could be little steps that becomes a lifestyle and not a diet. A lot of times we like the diet. We want to do these detox and these quick fixes. No, make it a lifestyle. And that way you can just start adding stuff on and eliminating stuff as you go. So I want to make sure that Warriors Talk, that we stay consistent with what we do, and we have been consistent. And I appreciate all of the support that I get from individuals that continue to support us. You can support us on the 23rd of October, which is a Saturday, and it's our 5th annual Survivors Night of Reflection Gala, where we are going to be honoring survivors. We're going to crown a Survivor of the Year. We are going to also give an award to the Community Service Warrior. And my goal is to put some money in the hands of someone who's fighting cancer. So that's basically where the money goes for Warriors Talk, towards our Battle Buddy Sacks and our annual paint and dip. And a lot of stuff got pushed back because of COVID, but the annual Survivors Night of Reflection, I'm like, this is our event, and we're going to do the event this year. We're going to practice social distancing. We're going to wear our masks, and then, we're going to make sure people are using hand sanitizer, but we're going to come out and we're going to celebrate and we're going to honor. I have an amazing speaker, Lisa Adams, who is an award-winning author. She's also a filmmaker, and she is just out there walking in her purpose. And then I have Rizal Gilmore, who co-hosts with me on the first Monday on Warriors Talk, and he's going to be our master of ceremony, you guys. And I know you guys love Rizal. And then we have a 3-time national award-winning poet who just released a book as well. And she's also a domestic violence survivor, Janine Hall, who's going to come in and share some of her work with us. I'm so excited about that. We're going to have a candlelight vigil for the individuals who have gone on before us, and a video tribute for Warriors Talk Down through the years since we started. So the tickets are only $35 for survivors and $45 for non-survivors. And as I said, the money go towards us. It go towards us having the event, but the ultimate goal is to put money in the hands that night of a warrior who is fighting. So even if you cannot go, you can donate. You can go to my Cash App, and my Cash App is the $W Warriors with an S and then Talk. You can also go to warriorstalk.org, and you can purchase a ticket on Eventbrite. So it just depends on how you want to do it, but we need your help. We need your support. I can't do this by myself. There are so many people being diagnosed with cancer. They said 1 in 2 males and 1 in 3 females. And with breast cancer, we know it's 1 in 8. 1 in 8. So our work is definitely not done. There's so much more that we have to do, and I can't do it alone. So I need your support, and I appreciate your support. Join me tomorrow for day 7 of Get the Facts. So you're going to have 31 facts in 31 days in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Again, this is Lady ReShell, author of Take Charge of Cancer and the founder of Warriors Talk, where we empower individuals to take action that leads to a healthier lifestyle.